Hi everybody, I'm Susan Mulvihill. Welcome back to my garden. For my June 5th garden column, I wrote about spring blooming bulbs, and you can read it starting on that date on my blog, susansinthegarden.com. Now I realize at this stage of the game it probably seems a little late to be even talking about spring blooming bulbs. After all, they're just about done blooming for the season. You can't buy the bulbs right now, you can't plant them right now, but I do have some very good reasons for wanting to talk about it. This is the end of one of our island beds in our backyard. And right now, even though a few bulbs have finished blooming for the season, I can still see their foliage. I've got some tulips that recently finished blooming. I've got alliums that are getting ready to bloom also in the foreground there. There is a species tulip that is just finishing blooming. I've got more camas lilies that are getting ready to bloom, and those are the beautiful blue flowers I was just standing next to. So my point is that while you can still see the foliage of your bulbs and they're on their way out, note the spots where you could add more bulbs. So what I'm doing is I'm going, yeah, I've got some room over there, some room in here, a little room here, and it is so much better to note where those openings are rather than risk putting a shovel or a trowel right through the middle of some perfectly wonderful bulbs. So this way you can make plans now, note it, because you will probably not be able to remember exactly where the bulbs are. And then you can do a little bit of bulb shopping later this season and plant some wonderful bulbs this fall that you can enjoy in the springs to come. If you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you know that we've been having a very cold, wet spring. While that's not so great for the veggie garden, all of my spring bulbs have been putting on the most spectacular show. I decided to put together a slideshow of photos of the bulbs we've been enjoying so far to provide you with inspiration for your own garden. Afterwards, I have 2 spring blooming bulb tips to share with you. Okay, so here's tip number 1. What you're looking at is my Narcissus Ice Follies patch, and you can see that the flowers have finished blooming. Now I know it's very tempting to want to just yank out those leaves, but as long as they're green, they're still conducting photosynthesis, and that means they're gathering energy for the bulbs, and that is for next year's bloom. So if you want to pull off just the flower heads, that's fine, but leave the leaves in place. Here's tip number 2. After your flowers have finished blooming, but while the leaves are still green, be sure to fertilize the bulbs. You can use a bulb fertilizer. The middle number on the fertilizer package will be the highest number, or you can use bone meal, which is an organic amendment. Remember to follow the directions on the package, but we're coming up on the time to fertilize those bulbs for next year. Now I realize tree peonies are not spring blooming bulbs, but look at these gorgeous flowers. It just absolutely sprang into bloom just a few days ago, and the bees are loving it. Thanks so much for watching today, everybody. I'll see you next week. Happy gardening.